Hi everyone, welcome back. Don't be scared, this isn't my new planner, but welcome to the non-pretty side of planning. Just so you know, in case I sound a little strange, my body has decided to come down with a cold today, so I'm slowly descending into that ugh feeling. So I have my tea and I'm trying to keep myself going, but I did kind of want to show you an update to my menu planning. So that's what this is. This is a messy notebook where I can hash stuff out. I do write in pencil because I do erase, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing and how I'm menu planning right now with what I'm eating and the method. So before I say anything else, a word about menu planning. I know that for a lot of people, food is almost a religion. So people are vegan, people are paleo, people eat according to the government guidelines. Let's just start with you do you. All of us are an experiment of one. What works for you, keep doing that. I'm just showing you how I am menu planning right now because what seems to be working for me is something called Portion Fix, which is a Beachbody idea, but essentially what it is the idea of food exchanges, which if you're diabetic or have done Weight Watchers, it's the same idea where a certain quantity of food is considered a portion of a certain type of thing, so like a portion of protein, a portion of carbs, and you have certain numbers that you're trying to reach each day. So it's essentially a roundabout way of doing macros. That's a little bit of background about what this is, and I will explain kind of a little bit about how it works, because that you'll need that information in order for this to make sense. So that being said, let me show you what my menu plan looks like for this week. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit, so hopefully you can see, and I know it's in pencil, which means it's kind of faint. Hopefully you'll at least be able to see it. All right, so I was pretty much getting 2 pages per day, and then I realized I needed to have a day with 3 pages, so there's 3 on this one, so it got kind of squished, but let's just take a look at one day. So essentially, Beachbody 21-day fix, portion fix, whatever. They have colored containers. There's green, purple, red, yellow, blue, orange, and then they use teaspoons. I will probably get blue and orange mixed up. I have a hard time keeping them straight. Green is vegetables, purple is fruit, red is protein, yellow is carbs, blue and orange are things like oils, salad dressings, nut butters, that sort of thing, and then teaspoons is kind of along the same lines. Usually it's like olive oil or a nut butter or something like that, whereas blue and orange are actually the solid nuts themselves. I believe green and purple are both 1 cup measurements, red is 3/4 of a cup, yellow I think is 1/2 a cup, and blue and orange are very small. They might be 1/8 of a cup. I haven't looked those up, but I did look up green, purple, and red because those are ones I use most often. My allotment, if you will, is 4 green, 2 purple, 4 red, 2 yellow, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 3 teaspoons. That puts me in, if you're familiar with it, the 1,200 to 1,499 calorie range based on my weight and what I'm doing. Now, this is getting a little complicated, but just because people who are familiar with this might be like, that's not the right numbers. So there's the original 21-day fix container count, and then they have a new program out called 80-day obsession. The difference in the meals between the two is an extra vegetable and an extra teaspoon. I figured I would try it. Again, experiment of one. How does this make me feel? So it seems to be working. So this is what I'm sticking with at the moment. All right, so for each day I wrote down breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. I am also doing, along the lines of the 80-day obsession, a timed meal plan. So I eat breakfast, and trust me, this turned my entire morning routine on its head. But normally when I'm trying to eat healthier, I am having massive food cravings, hungry all the time because I'm not eating what I normally eat, and I'm just not in a good mood for the first like 5 or 6 days. This has solved that problem for me. So anyway, this is what my day looks like. So morning, I get up at 6 o'clock and I immediately eat breakfast. Previously, I would get up, work out, then eat breakfast afterwards. So I'm eating breakfast first. About an hour after that, then I work out. What I'm doing in the meantime, I'm eating breakfast and I get my quiet time in. So my Bible studies, praying time, all of that while I'm eating and just after. So that gives me, that's about an hour. And so then I'm working out an hour in. So when I'm finished with that, then if I'm going to work, I take my shower, get ready to go, drive to the office, and then I have my first snack somewhere around 10:30, because that's about the time that I get in, because I'm trying to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Lunch, I usually eat about 1. Then I have another snack about 4. This is the lifesaver meal. 4 o'clock is my kryptonite hour. That is the time when all of a sudden I'm hungry and I want something to eat. And it's like, what's here in the office to eat? And sometimes it's healthy and sometimes it's not. If I don't eat at 4, when I get home, I'm like, what's in the house to eat? I'm starving. I can't even think to cook until I eat something. So this second snack has really become a lifesaver for me, because about the time when I'm like, I'm getting kind of hungry, I have something available and planned to eat. So I usually do that about 4. Dinner is usually 6:30 or 7. So that's kind of how that goes. So I know what I have: 424, 2113. So those are the numbers that I have allotted. So down here at the bottom I have abbreviations: green, purple, red, yellow, blue, orange, and then teaspoons. And then underneath it, as I'm adding meals, I'm adding to this tally. And usually I plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner first, figure out what the tally is, and then figure out what I have left, which is this row here. And then I go back in and figure out snacks based on what I have left after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'll actually go through and do this from scratch so it makes a little more sense, but just so you have an idea. So Monday for breakfast, I had a cherry blossom smoothie bowl. Excellent. And this is an aside, I love the smoothie bowls because I put nuts in them. Like a teaspoon of sliced almonds makes so much of a difference, and it has that crunch of cereal, which sometimes I miss because I'm trying to not eat gluten, trying not to eat a lot of breadish type carbs. So having just a little bit of a crunch to it, it's, yeah, amazing. So then for lunch, I made a mustard chicken and spinach salad. Chicken, spinach, grapes. It had walnuts in it, and then a mustard vinaigrette type of dressing with chicken. Obviously, I don't think I mentioned that. And then for dinner, roasted chicken quarters with potatoes, and the original recipe called for tomatoes. Not a tomato fan, so I made it with Brussels sprouts instead. The nice thing is, with the food exchanges, if you're looking at a recipe and going, I don't like tomatoes. Tomatoes are a green. Well, let me see what else is in the green list. Okay, I will do Brussels sprouts. So it's easy to substitute out things that you don't like or can't eat. I can't eat avocado. I'm allergic to it. It makes me feel like crap for like 4 hours after I eat it. So not going there anymore. So anyway, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I went back and figured out what I had left. So then for a snack, I ended up with strawberries because I had half a purple left, spinach because I had a green, chicken, I had half of a red left because there's a half of a red here on lunch, and then balsamic vinegar, which is free, and then half a teaspoon of olive oil. This was really good, let me tell you. I put the balsamic vinegar and olive oil in a separate container and put everything else in: strawberries, spinach, chicken. When I got to the office, shook up the container of vinegar and olive oil, dumped it over the top, gave everything a shake, and then I ate it. That was really good. And then I still had a green, a red, and a teaspoon left. So I don't think I actually even ended up using the teaspoon here. Basically, I cut up 1 green container's worth of cucumber and then a red container's worth of Greek yogurt. I think next time I'll add some sort of maybe dill or something to the Greek yogurt, but as it was, I just dipped the cucumbers in the Greek yogurt and ate the rest by itself. It is plain Greek yogurt, so there's no sugar added to it or anything. So that's kind of how I'm menu planning right now. So I did that for Monday. I did the exact same thing for Tuesday. You'll notice that I did cross off a few things. Usually I did that when I was changing a recipe. So in this instance, Tuesday morning was a banana berry smoothie bowl. I decided I was going to use less almonds because I was 1/2 of the blue portion over where I needed to be. That's why you'll notice periodically I have things crossed off. So in this instance, I had a banana berry smoothie bowl, and you'll actually see I forgot I had a planned lunch, so this actually ended up changing completely. But I had broccoli, slaw, tuna, olive oil, and vinegar for a snack. I had planned sweet potato bites and chicken for my afternoon snack, and a repeat of that mustard chicken spinach salad. And then for dinner, because Tuesday nights I usually go dancing, so I was going to bring a Greek cucumber salad with me with strawberries on the side. Just for another example, you'll see here that I crossed off the half in the 1.5 green and the half blue. So basically the taco salad without the avocado and tomatoes. Hopefully you get the idea, and then let me show you where it went from there, because I don't work off of that. So, and I apologize for the glare. I don't think it's going to get any better, but I apologize. So plan to eat, which if you've watched my previous menu planning video, this should look a little bit familiar. So I actually added in the recipes and their calorie count and that sort of thing in here. So, because this will actually total it for the day. However, it doesn't include when I don't have a recipe and it's just a note like the snacks usually were. So you can see on Tuesday I actually had a lunch with our software company, onsite.com. So I just made a note that that was out, and then I moved things around. So for dinner, I had the broccoli, slaw, tuna, and the olive oil and red wine vinegar, and then I had the Greek cucumber salad for a snack. Now, when I went to make the Greek cucumber salad, I had already cut up the cucumber for the day before. I didn't have an entire cup, so I just made up the difference with spinach, and actually that was really good because it was cucumber, spinach, feta cheese, Kalamata olives, and dill. So there was no dressing on it, but it was really good. Actually, you know what? I think I might have added a dressing, sort of. I think I added tarragon vinegar to it, just like a couple of shakes of tarragon vinegar. So essentially, once I've got it in the book, then I put it here because this way I have all of the recipes available with their nutritional information. So that's kind of how this works. And plus the fact this is easy to drag things around if I need to make adjustments. All right, so the other place that I put this, I use MyFitnessPal for tracking, and I was just kind of curious. I don't know that I'm going to do this perpetually, but I was curious with all the snacks and things what my calorie count, carbs, fat, protein, and all of that was. So the main thing being that with how I normally eat, I eat way too many carbs and not enough protein. And so you can actually see I'm maxing out my protein count and fat, which I don't mind because fat helps keep you satiated. And then I'm under on my carbs, and that's completely fine with me. So that's part of the reason I was tracking it here, is because I wanted to see how this was going and what it looked like. I looked at Tuesday. I was definitely over on my calories, but hey, Ruth's Chris, the filet and steak, it's totally worth it. And really and truly, I'm not that much over 300 calories. I'm still at 1655 calories. Again, going back to calorie counts, how much you eat, that sort of thing, you do you. Had lost a bunch of weight last year. I seem to have put it all back on in the last 2 months. So I'm trying to get that back down again. So I know they don't recommend under 200 calories, and I definitely don't dip under that, but I'm trying to hover somewhere 1350 to 1500 calories, and I'm doing okay. So again, you'll see maxed out the protein, under on the carbs and fat. So this is working for where I want to be as far as macro wise as well. It's nice to know that it all matches up, which is what's important for me. So as far as how this translates into my normal planner, it does and it doesn't. Pretty much I'm working off of the electronic version, which I just showed you, as far as what I'm eating, what I'm planning, that sort of thing. I'm not really keeping track of what I'm eating right now in my paper planner that you normally see. This is kind of like me working out, doing all the math, getting everything laid out for the week. This did take a very long time. It actually took me most of Sunday. I'm hoping it'll be a little faster going forward because I have kind of days that are almost preset where I can just go ahead, jump in, and reuse the information. So we'll see. We'll see how this works. But this is how I'm meal planning right now, and I don't mind spending a little extra time because it's working. I'm not hangry. I'm not starving to death in the evenings. To be honest, I kind of feel like I'm eating just enough where I'm not hungry anymore, but I'm not full. And then about the time I'm like, I'm getting kind of hungry again. I'm like, oh look, it's 2 to 3 hours later. I have something ready to eat. So I think the main thing on this is meal prep. But I haven't done a lot of like actual meal prep. It was deciding what I'm going to eat. I think I pre-made sweet potato bites on Sunday because those I knew were going to take a little bit longer to cook, and that way I just had them ready to go. I cut up fruit, so I made it pre-portioned containers of strawberries and blueberries, so those are ready to go because I am using those a lot in various things as far as snacks go, like here blueberries, strawberries, plain Greek yogurt, and I have pumpkin seeds, which I had not gotten yet. So anywhere I have that, I'm using sliced almonds because I have those. But again, it's the exchange. So I don't have this. I didn't buy it. I had planned cottage cheese here. Completely forgot to get it from the store. I have Greek yogurt. Those are subbing out for each other, and that's okay. So yeah, it's just a matter of what do I have? what can I eat, what don't I have, so how can I substitute these. There's just a big long list of all of those. So that's how I'm meal planning right now. Hopefully you find that at least interesting, even if it's not something that works for you or that you're interested in doing, but it's one way of eating, one way of menu planning, and to me what's important is that I feel good when I do it. Like I said, food for some people is like a religion. You do you. If you know that a plant-based diet works best for you, obviously this is totally doable as a vegetarian or a vegan. If you're paleo, that's fine too. Like, I tried to follow the paleo lifestyle, but my issue is usually that I'm still eating too many complex carbs. They don't usually count calories, it's just the types of food, so I'm eating too much. And I love food, so especially good food. So it's making sure that I am feeding myself properly. I've never tried timed nutrition before, as far as timing, eating at certain times of the day. So this has been an interesting experiment for me. And I've always thought if I ate before I worked out that I would get a stomach ache or I would feel really horrible, but it's actually not the case. And I think it's because the meals at the beginning of the day are not that large. They're actually fairly small. So the scale is finally moving in the right direction, which is one of the things that I'm happy to see. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments box below. Like I said, and I keep saying this, you do you. This is what makes me feel good. I don't need to be convinced to do plant-based diet or paleo, which essentially is kind of what this is, because I'm avoiding a lot of the things that you're not supposed to eat on the paleo diet. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. If you don't know about how exchanges work, that sort of thing, I'm happy to point you to a couple of pages that give you a little bit more information. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!